some low vibrational dope fiend shit. Y'all all out there. I don't give a fuck who out there. It could be my mama out there. If you wasn't out there for Lee, fuck all of y'all. Y'all weird as hell, nigga. Because guess what?
So I checked Pamela Mitchell's page just now for an update. And there was none in regards to her son. You know that because you haven't gone and did what you're supposed to do. And this is the 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Today is the 41st day that Lee Longmire Jr. has been without his family. I'm looking to see where this noise is coming from outside my house. The beginning and the ending of my day today, Lee Longmire Jr. is on my mind. When I began my day, it took me past where his vehicle was found burned. It also took me past Mona Lake over there. And I recall Black Paper Weekly did a live with Pamela Mitchell over there, Lee Longmire Jr.'s mother. Well, you know who she is. Did an interview with his mother out there live. They were searching for Lee Longmire Jr. over there, or any evidence, that type of thing. And so he's been on my mind all day. And then you on my mind. So I'm like, man, I didn't know how many days it was then as I was going about my day. And I was like, we well over a month. And we trekking up into a month and a half. And this person with this information still not saying anything. Where your mindset is, I don't know. I know there's no way you could be thinking that this is just going to go away. Or that at some point in time, people are just going to stop looking for him or just going to forget about him, or he's just going to be another sad story. He's not. And as I was checking Pamela Mitchell's page, this young man came across. And then he also has another live that he did today. You know, once you click on the person, the algorithm picks you up and then he pops up again. And both his lives was public. His other live, the live he did today, he was in his, like he was in his business. And some young men came through. Yeah.
Listen though, y'all, this shit is not for them. This shit is not for them, y'all. They not buying this.
Some young men came down there buying some things to help homeless people. Other folks less fortunate. So they went down to purchase some items, some help some other people out. And I heard him speaking a bit. I think he said something about a reward. I didn't get through the whole video. Very passionate young man. And he looks very familiar. And I call him a young man because he looks young enough to be my son. Or at least my son's age, my children's age. He looks familiar. He was somewhere around in sports somewhere. His face is too familiar. I'm a sports mom. I kept my kids in sports. So football, basketball, one of them. His real name isn't on here, but he looks familiar. At any rate, his message is very passionate in regards of talking about Lee Longmire on here. He was speaking of, well, I'm pretty sure you even saw the live. You see everybody on here. You watching everybody. You're trying to stay one step ahead. You're trying to pick up on who might know you or who might have an idea of who you are. The one who has all the information that's needed. So, of course, you on social media, and who knows, you was probably on his live. You're probably one of his friends or followers on here as well. So, Pretty sure I don't need to go through what he was talking about on the video. But the thing that struck me is how he was talking about how 500 people, which was probably an exaggeration, but I understood what he meant. There's a lot of people standing outside of establishment for free weed. I don't know how you do that. Anything that's free, that's a little bit sketcy. Well, a lot of bit sketchy. So for anyone who smoked that free weed, I'm hopeful that they all woke up this morning or the day after they smoked it. What was this? One day. So yesterday, he did this live yesterday. As much as weed gets laced, not with just fentanyl, but stepped on cocaine. I mean, when you smack cocaine down, that's some deadly stuff. And people still sprinkling that stuff on there. They called them Primo back in my day. And people was tampering with them Primos and had folks real messed up around here. There's still some people I went to school with that are not right about the head. And so when I heard him say that people stand in line for free weed, and I'm assuming it was free weed samples, like, why in the heck would you do that? It's dangerous. Whether it's coming from a legal place or not. Free is not free. It comes with a cost. So at any rate, he was speaking of all the people that were standing out there for free weed. And he used the analogy. He said, we can get people standing out there for free weed, but we couldn't get 500 people to look for Lee. We had people outside of the community helping look for Lee. And he was very upset about that, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. And see, this is the type of, now he's angry, but it's very passionate though. You know, some people see it as aggressive and, you know, he's violent or whatever else. No, this is a passionate young black man. You know, yeah, he's upset.
Y'all gonna expect us to be out there stepping for y'all.
Yeah.
When y'all get popped or y'all get missing, y'all gonna expect the city to be out there looking for y'all. But y'all out there at that low vibrational ass dispensary. Talking about some free weed, some free ounces. Y'all weird as fuck. Y'all weird as fuck. Then y'all standing out there in the rain for some free fucking weed. Y'all some bums. Nigga. That's how I feel about that shit, nigga.
Yeah. Very passionate. He's upset. But that's a very passionate plea. Very passionate. For those who haven't seen it, his Facebook page is... did I go past it? Let me sure get back up there. His Facebook page is Stack Life Vito. That's for those who don't know who he is. Well, for me, he looks very familiar, so he had to have... he came up playing ball with either my boys or some of my nephews. But I very much understand his point, and I'm glad he made this live. You see, because that's how upset you have people. That's the point that people are at, not have come to. That's where it's at, and it's boiling over. You sitting back watching that, and all you have to do is just open your mouth and get that information of where Lee is, because you know. You know, but you sitting back watching this. Now, what happens if someone like him, who can't control their anger and speak passionate like he is, allow their anger to boil over? That's how bad it could go. I've already shared with you in previous lives about my family when we went through it. You know, some of my family members, they boiled over. No different from the Mitchell and Longmire family. They're not a violent people. They're not a corrupt people. But their emotions are being played with and toyed with. How long you think they're going to be able to contain that? Who knows that if some of them haven't had a point of boiling over? And they didn't even have to get to that point. had you just gave him the information way ahead of time. You probably watching me now. I don't know. At some point you will see this live video, because I know you watch me. You watch Pamela Mitchell. You watch her family. You watch the Longmire family. And I'm pretty sure you've seen this young man's video. And somewhere in there I did hear him say something about a reward. But it was in the other video, the one he did today. So I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Listen to him again. Very passionate about what he's saying. And he means it. Now, how many other more people out here can you imagine that are like him? Very upset. And they know the same thing I know. That somebody in direct contact with their family got the information. All you got to do is open your mouth and give that information. That's all you got to do. And they know, just like I do, you making it worse. Every day that you allow to go by, you making it worse. Not just for the family, but for yourself. Call. However you're supposed to get in touch with Pamela Mitchell. Do it. Do it. I know that for certain. No, I don't profess to be no prophet, no apostle, no none of that. I'm just another mother who has a heart for a mother who's looking for her son. Now, how many other more mothers do you think it is out there like me that has a heart for her, that have been led by God, not just off of empathy or sympathy, but actually led by God to pray for this woman, speak into her life, because she's looking for her son, because they've been in that same position. And none of us want her to go all the way down the path that we did. For our son, for her son to actually be gone, because you don't know, or do you know, if he's dead or alive? Do you know? Because none of us know. That's why you always hear me say, believe him to be alive. Don't just assume him to be dead, because we don't know where he is. People get held and kidnapped all the time. Drugged up, dropped off at a group home or somewhere else like that for decades. And people never know where they are. Or people automatically assume them to be dead because they don't know where they are. Doesn't mean he's dead. He's missing. His family don't know where he is. His car been found burned. You know all about that. But you could spare this family. You could spare his friends, people who love him, of further detriment and pain by just giving the information. Now, I know God has led you to do that, and that don't take no prophetic word. Excuse me. That doesn't take a prophetic word for that. Don't even take too much spiritual insight. It's just a laying on of the heart. When God touches a person's heart that's been in a similar situation, we already know that person who has the information has already been led to speak. My situation is no different from anyone else's situation. May not be exactly the same, but it's along the same lines. In regards to our children, when they were missing, someone close to us had the information, didn't give it. And then when everything is over, they want you to forgive them. Please forgive me. God says to forgive. They'll throw the Bible and all them scriptures in there quick. And you know, for some people, when it came to me, I told them they need to move real quick and get out of my sight. Stay away from my family. I should never, ever see you around my family. Even when God calls me home, when I'm standing on the other side, I still shouldn't see you around my family at no period of time. Never. Stay away. One of the most ultimate betrayals is to hold information and sit back and watch your family suffer. Ain't nothing funny about it. Ain't nothing about it. None of that. It's cowardice. It's cruel. It's hateful. It's horrible. You're a horrible person for holding information. Let me retract myself. You're not a horrible person. You're doing a horrible thing. You're doing a horrible thing. And you're making people look at you as a horrible person. So I remind you again, just as much as the Lord is giving me insight to speak into Pamela Mitchell's life and to give me insight of how to pray for her, he's doing it for somebody else so they can do the same for her. And just as much as the Lord gives me insight, causes me to dream, he does the same thing for her. Gives her insight, causes her to dream. Same thing for the family. You do not have to be no special person for the Lord to speak to you and give you insight and cause you to dream, even show you visions. He is no respecter of person. None of us is one more over the other. I don't care what type of title you have, pastor, deacon, apostle, deacon, whatever. No, you don't have to be none of that. And you don't even have to believe in him. He touches anything. Anything God touches, you're automatically in line and in tune with him. You're automatically open to him. Your spirit is open to him. You don't know what he's showing Pamela Mitchell. You don't know what he's showing Longmire Jr.'s father, his brothers, his sisters, even his children. The Lord really does speak through babies. Those things that people hear babies say, they don't make no sense. You better listen again. Ask that baby what he or she said again. The Lord be talking right through them babies. You don't know what God is showing someone, and you don't know if he could take someone, use someone to come directly to you to say, hey, I know you got that info. And now you coming with me to go see Pam. You don't know how God gonna do it. But I know you're gonna speak. That's inevitable. That's not going anywhere. And I know you should have went to see her or contacted her, however you're supposed to do it. I know that for certain. And that don't take no spiritual sense or spiritual insight. That's common sense. You're supposed to have been gone. 41 days? 4 days should not have passed. 1 day should not have passed. I understand that's a heavy weight to carry. You probably saying, lady, you just talking and yapping and running your mouth. Them folks gonna probably try to tell me from limb to limb. Yeah, I know. I know. Did you miss the part when I said my family already done this? I know. But if you go before you're forced to, that covering of grace, it's probably still on you. I don't know when grace expires off of you. I don't know that. I don't even know in situations where grace have expired off of me until I realized how things were happening. Why this keep happening? Why that keep happening? Oh, grace done ran out. Then I began to ask God for his mercy. Lord, please have mercy on me. You're no different. For anyone who hasn't seen this young man's live, I mean, if you have time, I would encourage you to go and watch it. His name is Stack Life Vito. Let me see if I can get a picture of his face in here in his video.
Nigga, that's how I feel about that shit. Nigga, I wish I would be standing out somewhere for some fucking drugs for free. Oh, first.
I don't know. I'm trying to get a good spot where the video will hold. Because he's very passionate about this. He's going off the whole video. Even when it dropped a couple of times. Oh, shoot. He's got a picture of other people on here. Okay, well, anyway, his for those who don't know him or those who haven't seen his live video from yesterday. His name is Stack Life Vito. Still hope I'm saying it right. And he does look very familiar, so he had to have play ball. Play ball with my boys or my nephews, one of the two. Because he's very familiar. He's just a grown man now. Once again, to that person who has the information, and you know you're supposed to go speak to Pamela Mitchell, you need to get there. You know, his mother, not his dad, cousin, brother, sister, mother of his children, close friend, none of that. None of that. The information goes directly to her. That's who it's supposed to go to. And I know that for sure. And you need to get there ASAP. Quick. You need to get there. This young man, he's holding his aggression. He's just speaking passionately. So he's holding it. And I can understand that. You know, I've shared with you. My son was taken from us. I have 2 of my nephews who was taken from us. We don't know who's responsible for that. The family knows who has dealings. You know, names have floated. Why? Because the streets always talk and nobody tells the police, you know, because it's not their family. But then when it hits their family, they're looking for everybody to do the same. Nope. So no one's done that for us. You know, I have had 2 other nephews who were shot, where thankfully we didn't lose them. Both of those instances were self-defense. You know, my son and my 2 nephews that we lost, they were just gunned down. Had no clue that somebody was about to do that to them. You know, so I'm not wishing anything on you. But trouble finds everybody at some point in their life. And you are bringing more trouble upon yourself. You bringing trouble upon your family. Because think, if something happens to you, now they're hurt. Now your family going through what Lee Longmire Jr. family is going through. You want that? You want to drag that out? Because, you know, some people don't care about your family. They already don't care about you. Or they don't care about going after your family, too. Some people have some real sadistic minds. You don't know how that thing gonna come back. What a man sows, that's what he reaps, whether it's good or bad. You sowing some bad stuff here. I mean, you really driving it in there. You really tilling that ground. 41 days have passed, and you have not given his mother the information she needs. You really tilling that ground. You soiling it with some bad stuff. Holding information in regards to where a person is. And what keeps running through my mind is, man, what if someone is holding him? Depriving him? I served with a woman like that in the military. She didn't even know she had came up with a whole different family until she needed blood transfusion. And of course, first thing we need blood transfusion. Yeah, they go through the military. We have our own blood bank. Very rare blood. So, ask the family. No one in the family had that blood type. And of course, some digging began to happen. And what did they find out? They done took that child. They took her when she was a child. Raised her up as their own. Decades, she thinking she's coming up with her family. She said she always felt something but didn't know what it was. That's what it was. That wasn't her biological family. They took her as a child, raised her up as their own. Then find out that she got in the military, needed blood transfusion. So that's how I know no one should just presume or assume that Lee Longmire Jr. is deceased. Because there's so many scenarios, so many things that could be going on. Just because he's missing does not mean that he is deceased. Someone could be holding him. Get in touch with Pamela Mitchell today. Again, I implore you, get in touch with her today. Do not let another day pass where you have not contacted Lee Longmire Jr.'s mother.